All right, guys, it is another cold, wet, rainy Northern Ontario day, but we are going to get out there and metal detect because it's not frozen and the great freeze is coming. Is it tomorrow? Is it a week from now? I don't know. The only thing I can tell you is it is coming, and I'm not done testing out that Simplex. So let's get out in the field. Today we're going for silver. I want to see if I can find a silver coin with the new Simplex. Let's do this. Yeah, it's raining out, but that means that the park should be empty. And I like an empty park. Bring on the rain. It's raining pretty good out here, and the Nocta macro headsets for all of their machines are the same, and they're not waterproof. So we're gonna be putting up our hood, both hoods, this one and then the waterproof outer shell, just to make sure that we don't wreck these. Okay, so I'm out here playing with the Simplex, and I was very impressed with it yesterday. But I have to say that there are shortcomings of this machine, which are the same as the Macro Cruiser and the AT Pro. They get tricked. A lot of signals come up. This just rang up. It's a pull tab. It was folded in on itself, and it rang up just like a coin. Down there 5 inches, and it was ringing up into the 90s. Okay, aluminum should not ring up into the 90s on this machine, but because of the configuration and the way it was scrunched up, and all machines that I've run in the past have done this except for one, and that is the Equinox. The Equinox just has a way to get rid of all the trash. Like, you do not dig a pull tab unless you want to dig the pull tab. So I want to be absolutely clear and absolutely fair when I say this. The Equinox can get fooled too. There is one place that really bothers me. It shouldn't get fooled, and it does, and that is rusty nails. Rusty nails down there 7, 8, 9 inches will ring up just like coins. That thing will discriminate out bottle caps like no other. You do not dig a pull tab. You do not dig a bottle cap. The Equinox knows what those are. And silver, it will not miss a silver coin. It can be down there 15 inches. It will not miss it. The Macro Cruiser, and from what I can tell, the Simplex is simply a Macro Cruiser. It falls into that category with all the other machines that I've had. The Bounty Hunter, the AT Pro, they get tricked. Certain tin foils ring higher than they should. Pull tabs, depending on if they're squished or not. Bottle caps, beer caps, I showed you guys yesterday, will ring up like a coin. So, does it really matter? No, because you should be digging everything anyway. But if you're like Gary and you're a cherry picker, stick to the Equinox. This is a good machine. We're going to find silver with it today, but it has the same inherent problems as all the other machines that I've owned. The Simplex is simply getting you that quality for a much lower price, and that's why I'm so high. That's why I'm raving about this machine. You're getting so much machine for the price. It's funny that I just mentioned nails, because here we go. The Simplex just got tricked. 7 inches. This rang up 85, just like a coin, and it's a bent nail. I forgot to charge the pulse dive this morning. I wanted to hook it up to the Simplex because my Fisher pinpointer causes so much interference that every time I set the Simplex down, I have to push the mute button. It's just going crazy in my ears. So is there any perfect machine out there? No, there aren't. These machines are so good now that they will get you on coins. They will get you, on good items. You're going to dig a lot of trash with them. I'm trying to keep this as fair and simple as I can. If you don't have $1,000 to spend on a machine, the Simplex, there is no other choice, man. It is the best choice. Is it a perfect machine? No, it's not. All right, ringing up into the low 80s. We've got a mystery item. I thought it was a coin. And you can see the lip of it here. An old button, maybe? Yeah. Not a coin. This little button has me stumped. I've never seen anything like this. It's got a brass back with a glass coating. It's fancy. It's got a design on the front, and there's glass with a glass bead in the center. Check this out. Look at this. It's so weird. It's got a ring, and there's little tiny circles. there's like a pattern on the front. You can see the circles on the bottom there. It goes all the way around, so it's very fancy. And then there's a glass bead in the center. And on the back, it's brass, but there's also a glass liner. And you can see where the liner is broken right there. It's not plastic, it's glass. I think it's old. A strange piece of history, I don't know. It's cool enough that I'm going to keep it and put it in the hoard, whatever it is. I'll try to research online when I get home and see, what is it? Is it really a button? Is it something else? I don't know. An old nut, ringing up like a coin. Kind of a strange one for a park in the city. That would be a 1940s era, somewhere around there. 22 casing, I believe, center fire. It's an old one. Ah, Simplex, I love you too. Ringing up a solid 32. Look at the depth on that. All the way to the bottom and ringing anywhere from 48 to 70. And I actually can't get that signal unless I touch the ground with the coil. So it's deep. Well, it was deep, down there 10 inches, sticking up in the bottom of the hole like that, but not a coin. And I wouldn't say that that signal really was indicative of a coin. It wasn't a strong enough VDI, but the deeper you go, the worse your VDI numbers get. So, hard to say. It's a dig-it-all machine. Rookie mistake. There's our hole right there. And I did check it after I filled it. Now we're getting a solid. So, I did not check the hole for a second item while it was open. Damn, I should have just left that hole closed up and kept wondering, because it was a lot more exciting not knowing what it was than reopening the hole and finding that. Solid 61. Sure, it's cold. Sure, it's wet. But I won't say it's miserable. I'm actually having fun. What else would you want to do? Would you want to sit on the couch all day? No way. We're an hour into this and I finally have our first coin. Down there, 7 inches. It's a penny, but I think it's an old one. Let's check it out. There it is. I'll have to give it a good brushing because it is completely coated. Usually that means they're old. Oh, not as old as I would have guessed. I would have thought that was from the 40s. Anyway, our first coin. Canadian 1960. So I've shown you guys the penny collection that I have at home. I have all my father's 1920s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s pennies, and I went through and I organized them all and put them in papers, marked them all up. And we have pretty much 20 of every coin from the 40s, 50s, 60s, except I noticed last night I was giving my daughter a set, and 1954, it is not listed as a key date or a rare date. I only have one 1954 penny, and I can't figure out why. My dad collected every time he got old pennies in his change, he kept them, and I don't ever remember metal detecting too many 1954s over the last few years, but from now on, if I find a 1954, I'm going to clean it up and add it to the collection because I only have one. If anybody ever wanted to know what a sprinkler head rings up on, the Simplex, solid 20. Not silver. Modern garbage. Look at the rust on that. Terrible. Wow, it's been quite a while since our last find. This is an interesting one. I was not expecting to find a thimble out here in the middle of the baseball field. Look at that. I think that is my first ever thimble, guys. Some mom was out here darning her kid's socks, you know, while she was watching the game back in 1940. How cool is that? Definitely utilitarian. Not silver. It wasn't ringing up like silver. And you can see on the inside it's some kind of brass alloy. Right here on the lip you can see it. That's pretty cool though. My first one. 5 years it took me to find a thimble. That'd be a pretty small finger that went on. history. It's all about the stories that I tell myself when I find this stuff, right? Pretty amazing. Well, all of my gear, my pants, my clothes, my detector are covered in sand and mud. Somebody just drove by, honked and waved and yelled, "Good luck, man!" So I can't quit now. We gotta keep going. We've just been offered good luck. Behind me in that blue building, that houses all the power station for all the lights and everything. And we're 100 feet from it, and the Simplex is now picking up electromagnetic interference. I've tried every channel. There's 3 channels you can switch between. None of them cleared up. I know there's a lot of signal coming out of that building because even my other machines have issues down here. But I don't think they do this far away from it, only when you're right up next to it. So it is a sensitive machine. Now, right here where I am right now is the back of the baseball diamond, the outfield. But in the 1940s, this was home plate. And I just dug 4 or 5 I think, old beaver tail pull tabs. So I have hope that maybe there's a coin here somewhere in this area. So far, just more pull tabs. Perseverance paid off. I'd like to say that guy drove by, yelled good luck, and this is the next hole, but it's probably 50 holes later. It's not a silver, but it's still a cool old coin. I don't know how old it is. Let's check it out. There it is, a largie. We know it's 1920 or before. Ooh, that's a real thick one. Oh, is there 2 of them stuck together? I think there's 2 of them stuck together. I have never found that before. And they are really stuck together. Definitely 2 coins there, guys. Hang on, give me a minute. I'm going to separate these. That's awesome. Well, they do not want to come apart. So, I can tell you that the coin on this side is 1917. And that the coin on this side is an Edward. There's Edward. So it's not a Queen Victoria. They're probably from the same era. I mean, obviously they were dropped at the same time. I may just keep those 2 together as a really cool find. They seem to like being stuck together. Let's just leave them like that. I just pulled 3 pull tabs inches away from where those 2 coins were. So there is no problem with discriminating out coins in a trashy area with the Simplex. None at all. So what did those 2 old coins ring up as? Solid 72. And within inches around them, 40, 50, 50, 60, pull tab, pull tab, pull tab. 3 pull tabs within a 10-inch square around there. And that machine has such a quick recovery speed that it could pick up those coins no problem. I'm using Park 1, by the way, which also has the slower of the 2 recovery speeds. All right, you guys know I like to end on a high note. So, 4-hour hunt in the rain, and I'm going to say, you know what? I'm grateful and thankful for these conditions, because next week when we're froze out, I'm going to be wishing for a day like today. I'll show you guys what I got, and then I got to go home and I've got to wash everything. We're full of sand and mud, so I'm actually going to have to hose myself off. Then I'm going to jump in the hot tub. So I hope you guys had a good adventure. I hope you guys warm up after this, but here's the haul. So there's the good stuff. I actually forgot about this guy. I got to go home and research that. That is pretty cool. So a few modern pennies, 60s, 50s, modern dime, the really nice old pair of large cents, and a whole whackload of junk. Little nails. Now remember, I was coin hunting, so every one of these items rang up as a coin, right? So that's how many times the Simplex got fooled today. No more. Well, these pull tabs, actually, I was pulling them just to get a cleaner signal, so don't count the pull tabs. Those rang up as 50s. I knew what they were. I pulled the pull tabs anyway. Anyway, that's the haul, guys. I was going to end this with Gary jumping into the hot tub off the deck naked, but I don't think anybody wants to see that go screaming past the camera. So we'll just end it right here. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you in the next adventure.